be the president that led to Mr. McCabe's termination and has rendered it illegitimate. Talking about some of the tweets the president sent out, talking about how Mr. McCabe says he took memos, but he never saw that happen. So what do you make of this?
Yeah, this is the same guy, by the way, who wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post calling the process, quote, welcome news.
That's right.
Let's talk about a corrupted process, though, for a moment here. Andy McCabe's the #2 in charge of the FBI during the process when they were investigating Hillary Clinton, and they wrote an exoneration letter for Hillary Clinton before they'd even interviewed her, #1. #2, the FISA court process, a secret court, has an information verification procedure known as the Woods procedure. Where was that? You introduced fake information into the FISA court while you were the #2 at the FBI. Let me give you another one out there. You're talking about corrupted processes. He was the #2 in the FBI, Andy McCabe, when Mike Flynn was prosecuted for a statement, by the way, that they claimed to be false, while the FBI director claimed that they thought, the interviewing agents thought Mike Flynn was in fact truthful. Listen, spare us the crocodile tears about a corrupted process, Andy. Sorry.
The Democrats are now offering him a job, 4 or 5, say, come work with me for those next few days, and this way you could get your pension. They don't even know what's in the report. A lot of people figure out that not only did he not help Hillary Clinton, he hurt Donald Trump and he hurt Hillary Clinton. Why do they want to exonerate somebody whose own inspector general had a problem with? This is not Donald Trump's fight.
No, you're right. They better be really careful here. Even Adam Schiff himself, I mean, listen, the king of swamp rat Democrats has even kind of dialed back a bit his support for, you see that with Andy McCabe saying, hey, hold on a second before we kind of rush to judgment here. Andy McCabe, you're right, the IG report has not been released yet, and we don't know how severe some of these leaks were and what kind of information the IG has. And remember, the IG was an Obama appointee, guys, so this, I would be very careful if I were a Democrat jumping to the defense of Andy McCabe.
Well, Democrats are saying, firing him just 2 days before before he would get his pension, saying it's spiteful, act of vengeance, mean-spirited, horrible day for democracy. And these are also never-Trumpers that are chiming in as well. John Brennan, former CIA director, on Saturday tweeted this. He said, when the full extent of your venality, moral turpitude, and political corruption becomes known, you will take your rightful place as a disgraced demagogue in the dustbin of history. You may scapegoat Andy McCabe, but you will not destroy America. America will triumph over you.
You know, if there was ever confirmation to the listeners and the viewers out there of a deep state, the existence of a bunch of embeds at the bureaucratic and political level who will preserve the state over principle no matter what, John Brennan's tweet was that. What a disgusting tweet. This is the former CIA director, by the way, a man, Ainsley, who had access to the most critical intelligence information, one of the most powerful intelligence operatives in the entire world. And instead of, by the way, who was deeply involved in this spying conspiracy on Donald Trump, and Brennan's out there doing, worried about his Twitter clout score and his personal profile and snappy retorts on Twitter, I'll tell you what Brennan's worried about. Brennan's worried about how he claimed, under oath, by the way, that he had no information about the dossier, yet went up and briefed people on Capitol Hill, and information in the dossier released from Capitol Hill a couple days later.
And by the way the Russians ran over us for his years in power, Samantha Power came out with a tweet like this, and I don't know what this means. She tried to walk it back in a twisted explanation, but she says, not a good idea to bleed off John Brennan. Really? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, what is he, like a bouncer in a bar or something? I mean, listen, I get it, like people say dumb things on Twitter. I've sent out a few tweets later on. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have sent that one out. But seriously, it's not a good idea to upset John Brennan. You know what? It's not a good idea to upset Donald Trump. I think we've seen that. This guy's a brawler, and he's willing to fight back. So I think she should really reconsider that tweet, given that she can't unmask people anymore and doesn't have access to the levers of power they abused while her and John Brennan were both there.
Yeah, you just mentioned she was one of the people who had requested unmasking. Didn't she request the unmasking of 200 or 300 people? And that is something that the Department of Justice should be looking into as well?
Yeah, and later on, by the way, she acknowledged that those unmaskings were done in her name, and she didn't even know about some of them. So Samantha
that seems
Power,
corrupt.
I think Samantha Power, John Brennan, Jim Clapper, Comey, McCabe, guys, listen, a note of advice from a former federal investigator here. Stay off the air, go get a lawyer, and pipe down. You're in a lot more trouble than you think you are. Your hubris is overwhelming right now. Their egos are taking over for common sense. Go get some good legal advice. Keep quiet and dial it down a notch. You were only involved in the largest government, conspiracy to spy on a presidential candidate in modern American history. It may be time to dial the volume down just a little bit.
That's what your wife is probably seeing in the bedroom next door. Dial down the volume.
Yeah, she's yelling at me right now. You don't hear her? She's knocking on the wall.
I can hear it right with the broom. Boom.
Wrap it up. Toss to Jillian. Toss to Jillian. Let me get some rest.
All right. Dan, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Have a
Dan.
good week.